tell me, I mean, like driveJohnsons has been going 20 years now. It's a massive milestone.
Yeah, it is. Doesn't feel like 20 years sometimes, and other times it does. Been challenging on the way, and it's been a lot of fun too, teaching people like yourself.
So what was you doing before you became a driving instructor?
I started out, I left school and I signed for Stevenage Borough Football Club.
Wow.
And I was on like YTS there, and I was there for almost 2 years, and that didn't go to plan. I didn't really have the right attitude. I was struggling to get into the first team. So I left that and went into personal training. And
As in fitness and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So from personal training, I was in that industry for a couple of years, 2-3 years, and it changed a little bit. So I was kind of looking around at other options, and I found driving instructing.
What? So like straight away, was you like, I'm going to start my own company, or did you start instructing first, or like what was your thought process when it came down to it? At first, was it almost like, okay, I'll do this part-time until something, you know, what was you thinking at that time?
Well, to begin with, I just wanted what my dad had.
Which was?
Semi-detached house, car on the drive, comfortable life. Yeah. Because when I finished football, it was quite hard. Obviously, when personal training, the industry changed a little bit. Again, it was financially quite tough. So I kind of wanted a job that I could transfer like the people skills and the interaction side of things, which I felt I was pretty good at. When I was a personal trainer, I was quite good at chatting with people and building a relationship with them. And obviously as a driving instructor, one of the things you have to be good at is sort of being patient, being likable.
Yeah.
That's half the job. If your pupils don't like you, then you don't even get learning.
Yeah.
So I trained to be a driving instructor, and it was just simply copy my dad and go from there, really. It was never the plan to have over 800 instructors.
And so how long have you personally been instructing for?
20 years.
Yep, 20 years, yeah? So
this year is driveJohnson's 20th anniversary.
Did you start the business straight away?
Yeah. So my dad's company was called Gifford Park Driving School.
Okay.
And with no offence to him, he's taught me a lot, but we had our own ways of doing things. Obviously I was young, and he was sort of in his 40s, early 40s at this point, I believe. And yeah, obviously I thought I probably knew it all a little bit. And so without falling out, he helped me all the way. I started the company just myself, and he kind of used to give me pupils to get me going, and it went from there really. And to the point where I was kind of looking after the pupils and retaining them, getting recommendations. And then I was within 6 months, I was pretty self-sufficient.
Way.
Yeah. So there's 3 tests to become an instructor.
Okay.
Thankfully, I passed them all. The people skills and interacting and trying to find ways when people are struggling, different ways to help them overcome their challenges. I kind of had that in the bag with the personal training. I felt like those skills were there when someone was struggling to lose weight, someone was struggling to build muscle, etc. You try something different. Sometimes you read up on it a little bit more and find a way to help people. And that's what I quite like about the job, is everyone's different. There's a little bit of psychology. It's sometimes in it as well. Sometimes you've got to try and get into your learner's head and try and win them over. Not everyone's going to trust you straight away. You'll get pupils that are apprehensive, might not believe you straight away. And you can either sort of say, look, it's my way or the highway, or try and find a way to win them over.
So tell me about the grading, right? Because I keep hearing about the grading, and I know that, everybody that passes to be an instructor has to have a grade. What's your grade? What's the grading about? What does that, show a pupil that comes to the school?
So you've got 2 grades, an A and a B.
Okay.
And the scoring goes up to 51. So fortunately, on my last few standards checks, I've scored 51 out of 51.
Excellent.
Which basically is the highest grade you can get. So I'm quite happy with that.
And so does that guarantee that the pupil, you're at the best of your ability, you know your field inside backwards, and that you can help them along their journey.
It's definitely a good indication that you're with a good instructor if they've got a high grade, but that instructor could also have just turned it on the day, you know, and they might not be actually a likable person.
Okay.
You know, they could be likable in front of the examiner, but then they go back to being different on the day. So, you know, again, learning, rule number one we're learning is make sure you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And if that box is ticked, then of course the next part is, you know, how much does your trainer know? You know, how good are they? What's their knowledge level? And then that's where the 51 comes in. I hope I'm both.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen it personally, you know. How did you go from a small company compared to now, 20 years later, where you've got 800 around the country? You do know wherever I go, I see this sign, right? I've been in Scotland and seen this sign. I've been in Birmingham, Manchester, seen this sign. I've been in East London, West London, North London, South London, seen this sign. How's that journey?
At the beginning, I didn't have any money to spend £10,000 on an advert. So back in the day, you probably heard of the Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was your main route to advertising, was spending money on the Yellow Pages, and I couldn't afford, you know, a big £10,000 advert like some of the national companies back then. So it was tough, and I had to find ways to market myself. But the main one was really, at the beginning, just doing a good job. Instructors would come knocking on your door saying, "Can I join you?" And that wasn't part of the plan to, you know, grow the company to 800 instructors. It was just to be just me and my car. So we took our first instructor on, which was Pete Ogburn.
Wow.
He was my best man at my wedding.
Wow.
That was tough, getting him busy, because again, he didn't have a reputation at the time, but we got him busy, and he's still with the company now. He's an instructor trainer, and obviously over time, you know, 12 months in, he's again a really likable guy. So he kind of becomes self-sufficient, which then helps you with the next instructor that knocks on the door and says, "Hey, can I join you?" So I got into instructor training, and I started training these people that wanted to become instructors up, and it kind of went from there. And then when we got to around 10 instructors, I had to then start thinking, right, we do need to spend a little bit of money on marketing.
Right.
And so obviously I was reinvesting the money that we was making on the franchise into the marketing.
Right.
And the company, like, as I say, when we had 10 instructors, it was never a goal to get to 20 or 30. It just kind of organically
It just grew.
grew.
Yeah.
And that's been pretty good for me, because it's always been manageable.
Right.
You know, we've not spent millions of pounds on a massive drive to get loads of instructors and then not being able to manage it. If you serve people well for a long period of time and stay in the same place, you should see your company grow. And along with other things. And obviously the other thing I have to say is I couldn't have done it without the help of a lot of the staff that we've had with driveJohnsons in the past and the present. We've had some brilliant managers. We've got a brilliant office manager now. And of course, my wife.
Yeah.
She's stuck by me throughout some of the tougher times where I've been working late at night. And yes, she's had a little bit of a moan and whatnot. Yeah, we're still good and strong. And I couldn't have done it without her sort of being there and supporting us. It would have been very hard to have got the company to where it is if, you know, she was on my case.
Yeah, if you didn't have the support.
Yeah, so she understands, and she's been there supporting us along the way. I've had times where I've doubted myself, and
So what did you do in those moments?
you learn.
Did you lean on your dad? Did you lean on your friends, or?
Unfortunately, my dad passed away when I was 28, because when he passed away, we had probably around 10 instructors.
Okay.
So unfortunately, he didn't get to see where it is now.
Wow.
But with him passing away, it did give me a toe punt.
I bet it did.
And
I bet it did.
I kind of felt when he passed away, because I do have a small family, I'm grateful I've got, very good friends around us and etc. But my family is small. And when he passed away, I was like, sugar, I'm on my own now. Yeah, I had to just get on with it and learn from my mistakes. And I tell you, I've made a lot more. I've made loads of mistakes, but you know, the main thing is you learn from them and you try not to do them again.
So 20 years is a long time. You know, we've talked about having a couple of bumps in the road, but what about within the business? Like, what would you do if a student ended up complaining or had some criticisms over whether it be the instructor or the company? Has that happened before? How have you dealt with it? And what have you taken from those critiques?
What I've learned in life, and I say this to my daughter, unfortunately you can't please everyone in life.
Yeah. As
long as you aim to please the vast majority, you should be okay. But that's not to say if anyone makes a complaint, they shouldn't be heard. I mean, any complaint that we get does hurt, and some of them are very, very, you know, minor, so to speak, and they can be fixed very easily just with a conversation. It might be miscommunication between the office and the instructor, etc. So a lot of them can be easily fixed. But yes, we've had learners that have been unhappy with the service, but that's one thing we pride ourselves on is, you know, myself, our office manager, we've got a customer service manager as well. We're all very contactable. You know, I won't hide. If someone wants to speak to me, then I will speak to them. And even if, no matter what type of complaint it is, you know, I'll listen and we'll try and fix it for them. I do think that is a difference between us and some of our national competitors. You will find me on the shop floor every day. You know, I'm in the same office as the rest of the guys, and I don't hide from problems or pass them on. But fortunately, we do have a brilliant team in place as well that I'm not called upon all the time. Yeah. One thing I always, if a complaint comes in or someone's unhappy, be it an instructor or a learner, I always question myself first as well. You know. And I hope, and I kind of teach that to my staff, especially the management that work close with us. I always say, like, if you have the mentality, what can I do for you, rather than what's in it for me?
Yes, sir. But you know what? If I was starting out my business right now, you know, you've got 20 years experience in starting from scratch. Like, what piece of advice would you give me if I was starting right now, or anybody else if they wanted to start a business right now?
So nothing's perfect. So don't think it's gonna be hunky dory. It's gonna be a hard shift. If you can, I mean, I was very, very lucky to start in my younger days. So I started, you know, when I was like 22, 23. So I had time on my side. I didn't have a child then, which helped.
Okay.
You know, I can't imagine trying to start this company up at the age I'm at now. I don't want to tell anyone, but it would be, you know, with my having a wife and now 2 kids, it would be very, very, very tough.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be able to do those all nighters like I did. I mean, as I said to you, I still do the occasional one, but I was doing them every night.
Yeah.
For years. Be prepared to work hard. I mean, some people might be more clever than me and they might not have to make it up with so much effort. But for me, it was a lot of effort. It was a lot of failing, you know, learning from your mistakes, listening to people that know more around you. You know, I've always found, like, as you get older in life, what I've noticed is, and I like to do it now, is people want to give back. You know, those that are successful, I've noticed they want to help others, and like myself, and so don't ignore those people if they're offering the help. And that's the kind of information I would pass on to someone. Not trying to scare them off, but it is a tough grind.
And okay, before I go, because I've got 2 minutes, what do you do to switch off?
So 2023 I started running, and I've done a little bit of running, but I do a lot of marathon running now. So I run the London Marathon in 24, run it in 25. I've got Chicago Marathon coming up.
Amazing.
So I do like to do that. You know, my phone doesn't ring when I'm running, and I can switch off, listen to a bit of Tiesto, and that helps my brain actually just drift off and think of other things and use my imagination and stuff like that, which I quite like. We kind of have a rule in our house that Sundays especially is no work.
Amazing.
You know, I try not to obviously I do have instructors sometimes call me up on a Sunday,
Of course.
and they're in trouble, and of course I say to any instructor, look, if you're in trouble, just text me, I need your help, or I'm in trouble, whatever, and they know that, so obviously I'll pick up the phone for them, but otherwise, yeah, Sundays we try and switch off.
Well, bro, thank you for all your time.
Mate.
It's been great to come see you, to see the office, you know, to have a little go behind the wheel again.
Oh.
It's been a minute, but I've really enjoyed it. My brother,
See you later.
take care. Thank you so much.